Now, Israeli tanks have opened fire on a group of desperate Palestinians gathered near an aid distribution site in Rafah in southern Gaza. At least 31 people have been killed and more than 100 others have been injured. That site is operated by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a controversial non-profit organization backed by the US and Israel.
I don't understand why they call people to the aid centres and then open fire on them. What are we supposed to do? My brother was trying to get some food for his starving children. He was trying to get some flour to feed his children. It's claimed to be a humanitarian zone at Rafah. He went, but came back carried on a stretcher. This is a crime. It's evil. It's sinful. Trump alleges it's a safe humanitarian zone, but it's all lies. They send us towards their fire. I covered 7 kilometres on foot just for a loaf of bread. What wrong did we do? We're trying to feed our starving children.
Well, the Israeli army also opened fire near another GHF site in central Gaza, killing at least one person there. Many others were again injured. The United Nations has accused the US-backed group of weaponizing aid at a time when nearly 2 million Palestinians are facing famine. We can speak to Dr. Tom Potoka. He is a consultant plastic surgeon at Nassar Hospital. He's in the emergency department right now, though, where casualties from that Israeli attack on the food distribution site have been arriving. Doctor, thank you for your time. Can you perhaps start by describing what you've been seeing? Who's been injured? Is it mostly men, women, children? What is the nature of their injuries?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm not in the emergency department. I'm in the operating theatre block. But yes, earlier on today, we had a huge number of casualties arrive, as well as 28 bodies. It was extremely chaotic in the emergency department. A number of patients requiring intubation. That's a tube to go into their lungs to take over their breathing, to keep them alive because they were shocked or had very severe injuries, including head injuries. The operating theatres, the 5 operating theatres upstairs were fully occupied with patients that had come in from this. I was working with colleagues, Palestinian colleagues, in another block with 2 theatres, and one of those had to stop also to allow an emergency case in. And other patients I know have been transferred to the ICRC field hospital and also, I believe, to Al-Aqsa hospital.
You say all of the operating theatres were fully occupied, and given that people were being transferred, we're talking about dozens of injured here. How are they doing? What kind of condition are the people in who you've been seeing?
Well, I mean, the ones that I've been seeing have had injuries to the major blood vessels in the legs. I know in the other 3 operating theatres, there was patients that had major injuries to the abdominal organs, and all the patients that I've seen were from gunshot injuries, so bullet injuries. Another patient with in a very critical condition, again with chest and abdominal injuries. So, you know, a broad mixture, but the ones that I've seen certainly have all been gunshot injuries.
Have you been hearing anything from witnesses about what took place there at the aid distribution site? I know, obviously, you're in the operating theatre, but have you been hearing from the people who've perhaps brought some of the patients in about exactly what took place?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. I mean, it's, we've been told that these patients have come from there, and I understand there is some video footage of patients or from the scene, but obviously I wasn't at the scene myself. We're, some way from that distribution centre, but it seems that that's certainly where these patients have come from.
Can you give us a sense of your ability to treat patients of this scale and of these types of injuries, especially when medical supplies have been so thin on the ground for so very long? What resources do you have to deal with the situation?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to emphasize that, it's not me. This is the Palestinian, the Palestinian doctors, nurses, paramedics, etc., who are working here. There's a handful of international staff offering our support for specific areas like plastic surgery, for example, and some orthopedic stuff. But the majority of this work is being done by the local staff, who are obviously completely exhausted as well. The amount of materials that are needed to deal with all these are getting used up rapidly. We do a lot of burns dressings because there's many patients.
The audio there is understandably very difficult. We'll try to get Dr. Potoka back for you, but for now, let's move on.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.